patients who come into hospital are more vulnerable than others. We're hoping to raise awareness of how to assess these patients in hospital using the clinical frailty scale. These patients can take longer to recover from an acute illness.
The clinical frailty scale describes patients prior to their current illness as very fit, well, managing well, and vulnerable. Many of the patients that we are worried about are mildly frail, moderately frail, severely frail, and very severely frail. Their frailty can be due to physical or cognitive handicaps.
Frailty is, I guess we haven't quite reached a standardised definition of what frailty is, but I guess it's vulnerability to physiological insults, and an inability to maintain sort of physiological homeostasis, if you like, and that leaves patients who are frail vulnerable to a deterioration in their functional abilities associated with simple things that other people might be able to get over fairly easily. Commonest things being simple infections like urinary tract infections, and that can lead to deterioration in mobility, activities of daily living, cognition, delirium, etc.
Yeah, so in order to look after patients, we need to understand what's important to them, and we need to understand how they function in their own environment. And frailty is one part of that, a very important part, and so that's the reason why we're assessing frailty. The clinical frailty scale is a very simplified way to assess frailty. Having said that, it's validated by looking at a very large cohort of Canadian patients who were followed up for up to 10 years. So we know that frailty influences mortality, influences the risk to get into hospital, influences the risk to require more support at home or to require a nursing home care. The clinical frailty scale helps to structure the way that I assess patients. I need to know in which areas they need to support, so I ask them, do you need help with shopping? Does somebody help you with shopping? If you have a shower, are you okay with that on your own? How about getting dressed in the morning? How much help do you need for that? These questions help me to assess how much support those patients need, but also in which patients I need to ask their family whether they require more support to support my patients.
I dress myself fine, and showering, my only problem is it's an old bathroom, my shower's over the bath, and I have to hold on to taps to get in and out, so I'm hoping to have some sort of rail or something I can hold on to, be more stable. I suppose I could do about half a mile, but with my stick, of course, yes. And then it's not so much that I don't want to carry on walking, if my knees start to ache, you know.
At the moment it's a bit difficult, but my legs will improve, and I'm sure a summer would be marvellous. Taxi to the shop I want to go, do my shopping, because I walk around with the trolleys and my weight goes on that. I manage to shop and my taxi comes back for me.
Clinical frailty scale is supposed to be a summation of a comprehensive geriatric assessment. Now, the full comprehensive geriatric assessment is the gold standard, if you like, for assessing frailty and also assessing the individual components of frailty. But that can take, it requires multidisciplinary team involvement. It requires 2 to 3 hours to do a proper comprehensive geriatric assessment. Therefore, obviously that's not feasible in the acute setting, so a truncated version of a comprehensive geriatric assessment is recommended, with not only taking into the account the acute admission, but also a history of the history from the patient, or perhaps a collateral history if there's evidence of cognitive impairment, if they're unable to provide that history themselves, ascertaining pre-morbid level of function, pre-morbid ability to perform activities of daily living, cognition, etc. And then that can be then summated into a score on the clinical frailty scale.